Mamie Phipps Clark was a remarkable woman whose work made a lasting impact on both psychology and education in the United States. Her research not only advanced our understanding of child development and racial identity, but she also played a key role in ending segregation in schools. Through her groundbreaking research, Mamie Clark made a significant contribution to both psychology and society. Her career stands as a reminder that psychology is inseparable from the social conditions in which people live, and that research has the power and ability to challenge systems of inequality. Mamie Catherine Phipps Clark was born on April 18, 1917 in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Growing up in Jim Crow South, she attended segregated schools and experienced firsthand the inequalities that shaped Black children's access to education. Her parents, who valued education deeply, encouraged her to pursue higher education despite the limitations imposed by segregation. After graduating high school at the age of 17, she enrolled at Howard University in Washington, D.C. At Howard, she met psychology student Kenneth Clark, who ended up becoming her husband and lifelong research partner. Although she initially majored in mathematics, Kenneth encouraged her to consider psychology because he recognized her ability to connect and understand children. During her time at Howard, she began developing research interests that would define her career. She completed her bachelor's degree in psychology in 1938 and her master's degree in 1939, also at Howard. Her master's thesis was one of the earliest academic studies to examine racial identity development in young Black children. She later pursued her doctorate at Columbia University, gaining her PhD in psychology in 1943, which made her the very first Black woman to earn a psychology PhD from Columbia. Despite this accomplishment, she faced extreme discrimination in the job market and struggled to find employment. She wrote about this barrier in her essay, stating that, quote, "Black female with a PhD in psychology was an unwanted anomaly in New York City in the early 1940s, end quote. This powerfully illustrates the obstacles she confronted even after reaching the highest level of academic achievement. After completing her doctorate, she worked in several research and testing roles, including at Riverdale Children's Association. However, she soon realized the urgent need for services for Black children in Harlem, as there was almost no access. Many Black children were being labeled as mentally deficient, simply because the testing tools were extremely biased and because schools offered little academic support to Black students. Recognizing these injustices, Mamie became increasingly committed to applying psychology in ways that would benefit Black communities. In the 1940s, Mamie and Kenneth Clark conducted their most famous study known as the doll test. They showed Black children 4 dolls, 2 with white skin and 2 with brown skin. And they asked them questions about which dolls they preferred and which looked like them. Most of the children chose the white dolls and gave them positive traits, while describing the brown dolls negatively. This heartbreaking result showed that by as early as age 3, African American children had already developed a sense of racial identity, often associating their own race with negative traits. The Clarks concluded that segregation and racial prejudice deeply harm children's self-esteem and development. Mamie's research went beyond the lab. Her testimony and findings were used in the Supreme Court case Brown v. Board of Education, which helped end racial segregation in public schools. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, Legal Defense, and Educational Fund presented the doll test as evidence for their argument that, quote, "State-imposed segregation in education resulted in feelings of inferiority that inhibited Black children's learning ability," end quote. Although her husband Kenneth often received most of the public credit, he always acknowledged that the doll test was primarily the work of Mamie. In addition to her research, Mamie also focused on community impact. In 1946, she and Kenneth founded the Northside Center for Child Development in Harlem. This was the first organization in New York City to offer mental health services for Black children and families. This center became a lifeline for many who had previously been overlooked by the mental health system, and the center is still around today. Mamie Phipps Clark's story is one of strength, intelligence, and compassion. Despite the barriers she faced of racism and sexism, she changed how we understand children's development and helped pave way for desegregation and equal education. Her legacy reminds us that psychology is not only understanding the mind, but it's also about improving society. Her dedication continues to inspire future generations of psychologists, educators, and activists who strive for equality and justice.